All right, good morning, everyone. Today's date is July 27th, 2020. It's 9 a.m. So I'll call this Hill County Commissioners Court meeting open. Our first order of business is our pledge and invocation led by Commissioner King. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Father, thank you for blessing us with another day and keeping us safe as we go into the future. Please grant this Commissioner's Court the wisdom to make decisions for Hill County. And please help us with the coronavirus and keep our men and women in the armed forces safe as they keep us safe here at home. These are the other blessings we pray in your Son's name. Amen.
All right. Everybody good today?
Yes, sir.
All righty then. Our first action is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting for July 13th and special meeting of July 17th. So y'all had a chance to look those over. Do I hear a motion that we approve those meetings or those minutes as written?
I'll make that motion, Judge.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Martinez. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, our next item for business is the auditor's report.
The only thing I have is a line item transfer, and it's from precinct 4 fuel for $4,993.72 to equipment for $4,993.72. And this is for the purchase of a 10,000-gallon horizontal fuel tank with skids.
All right.
Precinct 4.
You've heard the line item transfer from precinct 4 from fuel into equipment, and that amount is $4,993.72. Do I hear a motion that we approve to this line item transfer?
I'll make this motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Cornell. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Martinez. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Is that all you had, Melinda?
Yes, sir, that's all I have.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, our next item is the treasurer's report.
Good morning.
Morning.
On Friday, I got ahead of myself, and so I'm going to report to you all the financial report for the month ending June 30th of 2020. The monthly closing balance is $20,614,960.51. I hereby certify that this report is true and correct and request that you place it in the minutes.
Okay, you've heard the report, had a chance to look it over. Do I hear a motion that we accept this report and allow Ida to run it in the paper?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Kelly. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right.
Okay, Judge, my next item is the affidavit just stating that the court has received, reviewed, and approved the financial report, and I'll be placing this in the newspaper.
All right. You've heard the request to place the affidavit in the newspaper. Do I hear a motion that we allow her to do that?
I'll make that motion, Judge.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Cornell. I'll take a second from Commissioner Martinez. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Okay, Judge, my next item is the financial report, and this is the second quarter of 2020. And the interest earned is, for the 2 quarters, I'm sorry, Judge, yes, for the 2 quarters is $96,969.08.
Okay, now you're saying that's year-to-date total, or is that for this quarter?
That is year-to-date total, Judge. The
Okay.
quarter amount for, the amount for this quarter is $38,922.88. And I don't need your signatures, I just need a motion, please, in a second.
Okay, have, on the financial statements for the second quarter, you've heard the report, got your motion that we accept that, report.
Well, I'll make the motion.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Kelly. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Martinez. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right.
Okay, Judge, my next item is to reclassify 2 positions in my department. What, I'm going to, and it's within my budget, I'm going to increase Margie Chavez to pay group 1415,
Okay.
and that would be 1630.37 biweekly. That's a 2.5 increase,
That's a what?
a 2.5.
All right.
And my next one is Monica Valderas. I'm going to move her to the same pay group step, 1450, 1630.37 biweekly.
Okay. You've heard the reclassifying of these positions, both of these ladies, to a 1415. Hourly wage is $16.37 per hour.
Judge, that's a biweekly amount. 1630.37 biweekly.
Okay, give me that again, I'm sorry.
Yes.
1,600?
That would be $1,630.37 biweekly.
Okay. Then it's $1,637 bi-weekly.
No, Ida, is that, when you say reclassify, are they going up to another step?
Monica is.
Another group?
Monica's the only one, Margie's moving to step and Monica's moving pay group step.
Group, okay, so
Yeah.
step in the group.
Yes. Also, I'd like to make this effective July the 1st.
Okay. Okay, you've heard the request. Both of increases will take these ladies to $1,637 bi-weekly. And she asked that this be effective from July 1st. Do I hear a motion to approve these, reclassifying these positions?
Also move.
Motion made by Commissioner King. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Cornell. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right.
Thank you.
All right, the next items we have are under my agenda. You heard the UMC report on Friday. Do I hear a motion that we approve the second quarter report for the UMC?
I'll make that motion.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Martinez. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Cornell. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. The next item I have, I'll skip down to item C, which is the CTIF grant, which is the road grant that we received from TxDOT. I know this was talked about last meeting when I was gone, but we're in a position now where they're wanting us to sign some documents, also approve a resolution for this grant. And anyone have any comments on the grant or what we should do with this grant?
I've read the thing twice today.
Okay.
And Jim may get that, I told you so here in a minute when I get through. But what I've read through here on this grant, there's a whole bunch of things I think that are in here that we're gonna have to pay for above and beyond out of our pocket, other than getting $197,577. And whether we do it ourselves or whether we hire out and get a company to do it, we're gonna have engineering things done. We're gonna have to have, Atmos Energy and Excel look at all the utility lines to make sure they are in compliance with rules and regulations of TxDOT. We're also gonna have to have environmental permitting and regulatory issues looked at with somebody. This I don't think is gonna bother us too much, but it's still in here, compliance with Texas accessibility standards and ADA. We'll have to have somebody look at that, plus whether we do it ourselves and have our own engineer, we contract it out, TxDOT's gonna be sitting there with one of their road engineers doing material testing and taking core samples out of the road while we're working. So with that, I think we need to bypass on this, because I think it's gonna be an outlier. That's my 2 cents, Judge.
All right.
Jim, you got 2 cents?
Well, I think that, I think that that's probably all in the contract or the resolution, I can't remember which one. It probably is a little more involved than if you just went out and, chip seal your county road. I'm not sure that I think that you have to have it engineered. I'd have to reread it to give you a good opinion on that. I guess obviously TxDOT's gonna wanna make sure when they're giving you their money that you're building a good quality road that's gonna, stand up to whatever's going on, so. I kinda read the engineering part as more as if it needed to be, maybe if you were doing a new road or something more along those lines, that you'd probably have to do that, but again, I hadn't read that in a few days, so.
That's just what I was getting out of this morning.
I mean, there are a lot of requirements as far as, giving notice, even if you don't, I think it says even if there's no utilities really involved, you've got to, I guess, give them notice and make sure that they don't have something out there. And then there's just some various notice requirements and certification requirements, going along through the thing, so. It's, as far as whether you should take the money, that's a budgetary issue. It's I guess quote unquote free state money, but there are some strings attached and requirements to take it and use it. So that's all I have to say.
The way I'm understanding it, we have to, when we start this, we have to notify them when we start it. And money comes out of our pocket up front, and as we turn in the bills, they reimburse us.
Yes, this is a reimbursement grant where you do the work, and then there's an invoice process that you submit to them to get reimbursed. So.
Okay, but everything's gotta be inspected and up to their code before we can get reimbursed.
Yes, they have to be,
I think there are some requirements for that. So.
I think one of the other concerns that has been voiced is the expense of the material and the availability, I guess, of the material now. Anybody else have a comment?
You do have, I think there's basically 5 total years to get this done. I mean, I think there may be maybe 3 years or something after you start, but, so, and I don't know if you start it, started and found out you couldn't get the material and it took a while to get it. I don't know if the clock's running then or it's when you go out there and actually, put
Yeah,
your shovel in the
don't,
ground.
even with the deal I read in there, you have to have a written, it's like on a construction job, work order change, you have to notify them and tell them what's going on.
Of course, the expense and the cost and availability of the material would probably be a statewide issue. It wouldn't be on us, so. All right, anybody else have any comment?
Well, I think, just many times with these grants we've seen in the past that there's so many strings attached to them. It's probably cost prohibitive really, and I feel like that this grant probably falls in that category. I'm not sure it's something that we should pursue.
Okay. Anyone else?
Because anytime you get on that highway right away, I mean, you abide by their rules. And, if we were, I don't think we've got the equipment to put up to their specs. If we get out, if we have to bid it out, it'll be 5-4 times that price, so, we kind of have our hands tied when we get it, but having to go in there and do everything by the specs of the text line would be pretty expensive.
I might look at this a little different, if we go out level 10, we have a road engineer, who takes care of the county roads.
Okay, so,
I did get one quote, if we had to bid this job out, it's gonna take, over $800,000. And that's to do it at the state Department of Customs.
okay. So, from what I'm hearing, do I hear a motion that we, are y'all authorizing me to contact and tell them that we are declining the grant? Have a motion by Commissioner King, do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Then that takes care of the resolution issue. Jim, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to, did you ever find anything about the capital credits?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir, that's on my,
So this capital grants deal is, it is a part of the state unclaimed property statute as far, like when the comptroller publishes the list in the paper, and I'm not sure, it's hard to tell. It's something from electric co-ops, and I don't know if it's the member payments that maybe people don't claim or refuse or something for some reason, but anyway, and I tried to look to see if there was something to say, how much money are we talking about, and I couldn't find that either on the comptroller's website, but basically, you submit a request, and then they divvy up this money, and we might need to talk to Ms. I think it's Ms. Velasquez from the controller's office, kind of find out if there's, I don't know if this is like the CTIF grant where there's basically X number of dollars and we divide it up some way, and then if there's, some people don't take theirs, there's more. But basically what you can do is you can apply for the controller to send you the county's share of that, and we will, we can use it on 381.0 for economic development projects. I also am not sure right now if that's something we could say, like if, oh my gosh, the last one we did with, I'm really blank, I'm sorry. Yes, with like Oxy, if we could say, okay, we think we're gonna owe them, $100,000 back, so we'll use that money to offset that, or if we'd have to say, okay, we've got this pot of money and we can use it for some future projects, but and I don't know what kind of strings are attached to this stuff either. I don't know if they just give it to you and say, have fun or if there's a lot of reporting, but that's not real clear. But if you wanted to, if you'd like to, and I think the deadline is July 31st, which would be what, Friday?
It is.
So, I don't know if y'all wanna, you can authorize the judge and myself to make the application. Like I say, it's not really so much an application, I think, it's sort of sending in certain information to them, but, and we can, find out, and then I guess, if we find out more as far as the, whatever strings might be attached, we can always, I guess, turn around and send it back to them if you don't wanna keep it, but,
Okay, all right. Thank you for finding out for me, and that's what I was, the reason I put it on this agenda is we have to respond if we're interested by July 31st. And so, do I hear a motion to allow me to contact, or me or Jim to contact this lady and tell her that we're interested in it, and see what process or what we need to do in order to pursue it? And then if it turns out that, I would assume we'll have to vote on accepting it at some point in time. So basically what I'm asking for this morning is just a vote to allow us to pursue it. And for me to sign any documentation between now and July 31st that I have to in order for us to pursue it.
I'll put that forward.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Martinez. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, thank you, Jim.
you bet.
All right, the next item on our agenda is the Senate Bill 2 county budgets during a pandemic or during a disaster. Basically, Senate Bill 2 says that, or the legislature says that if we're in a declared declaration, then we're not obligated during the budget year to comply with Senate Bill 2, and that we can go back to the 8%. This has to be declared by August 1st of the year. So, any thoughts or feelings on whether, we've gone through our budget process this week, and from all indications, we wouldn't have any problem complying with the Senate Bill 2 requirements. And I would certainly want us to do that if we could. This just offers us an avenue to go back if we needed to the 8%.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
can I say something on that?
Yes, sir.
I was thinking about this and looking at it this weekend as well. This year, I don't know, it sounds like it's probably not going to be an issue, but it does carry over. I think it could go as far as, I think, 3 budget years. And so it may be something you want to think about doing just to have that option, because I don't think you can come back next year and say, oh, well, unless we're still in a disaster, but hopefully we're not. But once, I think unless you had the disaster in that particular year, you couldn't go back and avail yourself to it. Obviously, you wouldn't want to, just do that and then raise taxes, up to the higher rollback rate if you didn't need to, I don't think, because I think there's going to be some legislative repercussions for that. There probably will be anyway, just because I don't think they ever imagined that something like COVID would happen with that. But so you may want to think about doing it just so you have that available in the next 2 to 3 years if there's a lot of economic fallout that we don't know about now. So
Okay.
just,
All right.
just something to think about.
I don't think it's gonna impact us that much this year, but I think going into next year is where it's gonna get us.
Yeah. Especially with all the economic uncertainty and stuff, to have this provides sort of a safety net situation for us, so. Anyone else have any comment?
I think it'd be good insurance, just in case we do.
All right, so do I hear a motion that we do, accept the option to go back to our 8% during this, declared disaster, if we need to? With that being said, always keeping in mind that we'll be good stewards and spend and budget our taxpayers' money accordingly.
I'll make that one.
Motion made by Commissioner Kelly. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right. Discussion of burn ban. And, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you talk to me about this. I neglected to put it on the agenda last time. Kenny had asked me to, so this time I remembered. So, any feelings on the burn ban?
Well, Judge, we've had a little bit of rain around, it's been spotty. I was looking yesterday, it's still off and dry in places, and I think that fire danger is extreme. We do have some chances of coming, I think a little better chance tomorrow rain, but you know, that may or may not come about. I personally would be in favor of placing Hill County under a burn ban until such time as conditions improve.
Okay. Anyone else have any comment?
I'm feeling the same way, because I know it's really dry and it's not gonna take much.
Kenny, would you mind putting that in form?
I
of a
would
motion?
put that in the form of a motion.
Okay, I have a motion, by Commissioner Hill that, we place Hill County in the burn ban until, we receive some measurable moisture. And maybe we cancel it at that point in time, so. Have that motion, do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right. The next item I have is HVAC systems at the Justice Center. This will be for the district attorney's office. You remember the budget, kind of talked to us about one unit that was down and one that was going down. And they were gonna have to move the one that was going down in order to remove and replace the other one. So I had to ask Wally to go ahead and just get a price for both the units. And so he received a quote from Caprock Plumbing and Heating and Air here in Plainview to replace the two HVAC systems at the DA's office. Their new units are sized to match the existing equipment capacity. For the scope of the job, I went over with you on Friday. The total for both of those units, labor removal of those units, city inspection was $18,805. Can I hear a motion that we would approve the replacement of those two units with these two new HVAC units? All right, motion made by Commissioner Martinez. Do I hear a second? All right, second by Commissioner Kelly. All right, we have a motion and a second. Also, we need to designate where the funds will come from to pay for these two units. Is there money in that Fund 11 to pay for those?
Is that the permanent improvement?
Okay. Any suggestions, other those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? And then the last item I have on the agenda is received a notice from Homeland Security specifying that our county and the cities in our county are going to receive money from Homeland Security for the Coronas Relief Fund. At this point in time, Polk County is eligible for $50,413. I'm working with the treasurer. I'll also work with the county attorney in seeing what it takes for us to acquire this fund. And so it says once we have the paperwork and forms filled out, where to send it to, and then it takes approximately 1 week to process this form. So do I hear a motion that we pursue this money from Homeland Security? Also allow me to sign any documentation that we need to in order to receive these funds. Motion made by Commissioner Purdell. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any discussion?
What's that money gonna be used for?
Jimmy, it has a wide, well, anything that we can go back to relate expenses from the coronavirus and anything that we would need to help us with the coronavirus. So
Cover things like the barriers.
I think it'll pay for those barriers, it'll pay for, we received quite a bit of PPE equipment. We also, prior to receiving it, we bought some. Of course, we bought some video and audio. I don't know, we'll look and see how that works out. If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Hello again. So, the first three items I have is the 3 agreements related to the hangar acquisition project out of the airport. The first being the purchase and sale agreement for the hangars and the fixtures out there from Rocket to the city of county. It's for a total purchase price of $950,000, of which $600,000 will be paid by the TxDOT grant money, which is ready and waiting for us, and then the county and city will each pay the rest, $175,000 each. And we went over those in closed session on Friday. I'll be glad to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Any questions, you on that? If not, do I hear a motion that we approve this purchase offer of the hangars and other structures and fixtures from Rocket Aviation to the city and county?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Kelly. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any discussion? If not,
And let me just say this, that may be a little premature because the city's approved this. I don't know that we have anything back from, and actually it's probably, once y'all approve it, it'll actually officially go to Rocket, and then we'll set a closing date and all that, so. We may not need that, and I don't know when that'll be, so.
We may have to come back later.
Right, this is not something like, you approve it this morning and.
we're just
Thursday,
doing our
check, so.
third of the approval.
Right.
It's a 3-part agreement.
Yes.
Okay. So, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed? All right.
And then these next two sort of flow from this, and obviously if sale doesn't close, then they won't ever be executed either, but, and these I'm pretty sure we have basically hammered out between everybody. The first one is the a ground lease and a fixed base operator agreement between the city and county and Rocket. They will be leasing back a portion of the hangars that they currently own to operate their fixed base operation. And of course, that requiring they'll be paying, well, I can tell you. Well, no, I can't, because I still don't have that in there. I think it's about,
Jim, from my notes on the other day, I got 75,000 and then 20% hangar rent.
yes, that's the airport management agreement.
I've got $4,700.
Yeah, I think that's around there.
Total's right.
Yeah, I think that's correct. 'Cause there's rent on some actual hangar buildings, structures, and then there's actually just some ground area that, you know, has things like fuel tanks and things like that on it. So they'll be paying that each month, and of course, fuel fluids fee, which they pay now anyway. But, so if y'all have any questions about the FBO agreement and lease, I'll be glad to answer those.
Any questions on the fixed base operation? No questions, do I hear a motion that we approve this agreement? Motion by Commissioner Martinez, do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Cannell. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
And then the third agreement, including an airport management contract between the city, county, and Rocket for them to provide airport management services out at the airport. And that would compensate them, as the judge mentioned a minute ago, at $75,000 a year, and get 20% of all the rents that they collect, excluding the rent that they're paying the city and county. So
Is that all? Is it about 3-year?
three-year contract. The lease agreement, the FBO and lease is a 3-year term, and this is a 3-year term as well. And of course, they're completely, you know, they could not have a fixed base operator and serve as airport manager, or they could have the fixed FBO and not be airport manager, but they are on the same term as far as each agreement goes.
Okay. Any questions of Jim on the airport management contract?
We'll also like to sign both.
Yes. Yes, that's great.
Do I hear a motion that we accept this and approve this airport management contract and allow me to sign any documents? Motion made by Commissioner Kelly, do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any discussion?
I don't know if we mentioned that 3-year contract on the second one, but it's also, the judge will sign that one also.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. And also, the addition on the fixed base operation, allow the county judge to sign the documentation. All right. No other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right.
And then the last thing I have is to approve using the services of Percheron, I think it's LLC, for relocation services. I think this is a federal deal. Once when the city, I guess it's when the government takes over ownership of something like the airport, we have to provide any tenants out there or any people leasing hangar space the opportunity to move and not do business with us, I guess. So there's some letters and things that have to be sent out, and of course, then if anybody wanted to, I guess, take us up on the offer to provide those services, I'm not sure, where they would go if they weren't this airport, but it has to be provided. And so Percheron does that, and they would, their total cost would be, and this is not to exceed, so this may, I'm thinking it might be a little less if there's less, if there's not response, you know, to do this, but it wouldn't exceed $19,150. Part of that will be paid by the ramp grant, and then, of course, the city and the county share half of the remainder. I think the ramp grant pays half, and so our part's like $4,787.57.
Any questions, Jim, on this, use of the services of relocation, consultation? If not, got a motion to approve, this with Percheron and, also approve our expenditure of $4,787.50, to pay for our share of this funding. Motion made by Commissioner Cornell. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Martinez. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right. Thank you, Jim, for being here this morning.
Thank you, for putting up with me.
Just a quick reminder, that concludes our agenda items this morning. Just a reminder that we'll go back and budget session